boogity, boogity, get up on your feet.
Oh, hi. Good to see you again. Welcome to another edition of the DW Show. Daytona. We got the Super Bowl this weekend, and then next weekend we have the Bud Shootout. A week from this coming Saturday night on Fox Live, we'll have the Bud Shootout. You know, we had 3 days of testing, and we've talked all about that and all the information that was acquired down there testing, all the data, the new track, the surface is great, the tires are gripping, the cars are running fast, 205 heading off into the corners, high speed, 2-car breakaway, really fun to watch. Look like a couple of slot cars going around the racetrack. We've talked about all that, but what's been going on since we left Daytona, behind the scenes? That's where all the finishing touches are being put on your Daytona 500 car. What makes a great car for Daytona is when you have lots of time to massage it, to work on it. You see little areas that you want to finesse. Maybe a little Bondo here, and maybe a little fluff and buff here. That's what we always called it, fluff and buff. We'd like for that car, before it goes in the trailer, to have absolutely not. You could take a handkerchief, anything, and just slide it across the car, and it would slide right off onto the floor. That's how slick you want the car to be. We used to, and I'm sure they still do, we would take the car, and these cracks down through here where the hood is, those cracks there and there, we'd Bondo all this whole nose up solid, and then we'd take a hacksaw blade and we'd cut all the openings out with a hacksaw blade, so that the little cracks, just about like on this car, you can hardly see them. That's what we would do, so there would be no edges. And the hood hinges up here where the windshield clips are, all around the nose of the car. Now this is one of the old cars. That thing is ugly, isn't it? Look at that old splitter, that old wing on there. Man, I'm glad we got that off and got that fixed, because the car now looks a lot better with the new nose on it. But you take this whole car, and guess what? You don't just work on the outside up here on what you can see. You flip this bad boy over, and you see all this stuff hanging down underneath the car, tailpipes, trailing arms, all these pieces and parts underneath this race car, even the wheel wells where the tires run. There's a lot of turbulence in there. Every inch of your Daytona car has been manicured. You go down and you find that places where, and a lot of times you can learn this from testing, from the dirt and debris that goes under the car, it'll knock the paint off of edges, and you'll see where air has been hitting on certain things under the car. You'll go in and you'll round those edges up. You'll take a grinding wheel, and sometimes you'll even add a piece of round tubing to some of those edges to round them up, to smooth them up. And then you'll see other places where, and that's to keep air from slowing the car down. Then you'll find other places where you want to sharpen those edges up. Round edges rolls the air, gets rid of it. Sharp edges, it just cuts the air off. It releases it much quicker. So those are things you learn in a wind tunnel, particularly the wind tunnel over in Concord that has the rolling plane. That's what they use it for. Rolling plane means this thing is running about 180 miles an hour with the wheels turning, just like it does on the racetrack. There's a lot of air that goes on around these tires and wheels. So every inch of your car for Daytona, you'll absolutely touch it, rub it, buff it, fluff it, and make it as smooth as you can. Detail. Remember, the guy that can detail his car out the best, you may only see it may only be a tenth, but you watch qualifying when it's over with next Saturday night or next Sunday night. The car that sets on the pole will probably only set on the pole by a few hundreds, and those few hundreds are in those details I'm talking about. So a lot of stuff goes on before that car ever goes in the trailer. Somebody asked me about the wrap. You know, nowadays they don't paint cars. They put that wrap on them, the paper, the vinyl wrap that they use. In this case, for Daytona, you may decide you want to paint your car. And what we do is we paint the car with all the right colors, and then you take 600 sandpaper and water, and you water sand that car. letters, numbers, and everything. You'll water sand it down, and then you'll clear coat it. You'll put clear coat all over the car. Then you'll water sand that, and then buff it again, and clear coat it, and do it again until that thing is like a piece of glass. And that's how you get rid of any edges that would be around any of the letters or any of the decals or anything else. So that's another little detail. Harry Hogg to some of you. Remember Days of Thunder? He had the old car in the barn, and he said, I'm going to give you the best paint job. I'm going to make you the slickest, and I'm going to give you the perfectly matched set of tires. Well, what Harry Hogg would do to his car, baby powder. He put baby powder all over the thing and rub it in before he went to qualify. It's a little speed tip, wasn't illegal, and they always felt like he may have picked up a tenth or so by doing it. So little speed tips, little tricks that you can do to get the most speed you can out of your car. And that's just getting ready to qualify. All kind of things you do. Transmission fluids, rear end fluids, engine fluids, roller of your hubs running oil, not grease, to make the thing roll better. A good Daytona car, you could give it a shove and it'll roll forever for less rolling resistance. We do what we call a coast down. Get the car up to 180 mile an hour, shut the engine off, and see how far it'll glide. See how far it'll coast. You do that, that's something you can work on at the proving ground. So I can't tell you the amount of hours, probably thousands of hours that go into a Daytona car to make it fast for that one lap at Daytona for qualifying. And then you throw all that away and make it good to race. Whole different package. We can talk about that another time. But been a lot of work going on since we left Daytona 10 days ago. And they still got about 10 days to go here to finish that bad boy up. When they roll her up in the hauler, that'll be as good as it's going to get. That's everything you've got right there. Engine, car, aero, you name it. You put it in there and take it to Daytona and hope that it gets the kind of result. You hope that the amount of work you did pays off with the kind of results you get. That's what Daytona's all about.